Hello YouTubes, almost ready to start laying track in my new improved layout. However, I do need to bridge this gap here so the trains can make it all the way around. So I've been considering all the options for this task. You have a lift out bridge, you have the lift up bridge, and you have a swing bridge. For me personally, I think I would prefer a lift up hinged bridge. So let me show you what I'm going to attempt to do today. So I plan to have two mainline loops going around the outer of the entire layout. So I'm going to need two tracks. They're going to hinge up that way. However, I think I'm going to make it wider than the minimum. I might make it about 7 inches wide, and that will allow maybe a little road bridge for cars to go across and maybe a pedestrian footpath, something like that. And then I might actually do a suspension bridge, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So how am I going to make this? I'm going to need some screws, some drill bits, a good drill, a big fat drill bit, set square, ruler, Sharpie, pen, jigsaw, and for making the actual hinge mechanism, I'm going to try using cabinet hinges. And to align it, I'm going to use these brass dowels. And to keep it closed, I'm going to use some magnets. For my first attempt, I'm just going to use a section of MDF. It's quite cheap. If I ruin it, it doesn't matter. If it works, great. If it works but is a bit floppy, then I'll invest in a decent bit of wood. Right, step one then, cut out some wood, slap it on, make sure I've got the measurements correct. So that's our basic structure in. I think what I'll do next is install these alignment dowels. There's a bit more to these than meets the eye. As you can see, these are actually made of brass. So my plan is to wire these up to the main power so that they don't just align, but they also connect the power. I'm not going to do that right now. All I want these for is alignment. I'm actually going to have the pins pointing up the way. If you have the pins pointing down the way, then it means dirt can collect in these holes. So I want the holes installed on the upper side. And I'm actually going to put in 4, just in case I do decide to wire these up for power. But again, this could all just be an experimental one. I might make it properly with a bit of decent wood. So these are going in the bottom, those ones are going in the top. So far so good. Now we can move on to the hinge side. That's going to be a wee bit trickier. Actually, it's going to be a lot trickier because I don't exactly have a template to work with. So this is going to go this way and then the hinge will open up that way. So I need to figure out where I'm going to put this because I have to drill a big hole in the top here. I can only do my best. I don't want it right at the edge. So maybe a bit there. Oh goodness. Let's see. And it's not even sitting flat, it's kind of sitting down a bit like that. It needs to sit there, but it automatically springs down the way. Tricky. Let's go with, if I can even get the curve, that would help. Doesn't have to be exact, but it does have to fit. Because I can always bring this out a bit if I have to. Ooh. I wonder if I could, nope. Ooh, I can just get in there, that's good. Okay, let's try that. So I need to take this off and basically drill a big hole and see if I can get this to fit in. I think that's about centred with my little markings. Roughly there. Wow, this is really quite professional what I'm doing here. And by professional, I mean completely bodging it. So my big circle needs to be pretty much round there. I know that's not a circle, but as long as that fits into it. I don't know why they didn't just make that circular instead of square with a round bit. It's very annoying. We'll give it a shot. Get one of these nice big hole cutters. Big giant wooden washer. What a palaver. Let's see if it fits after all that. It does fit. It actually fits quite nicely, amazingly enough. Okay, I suppose I better screw these in and see if we're actually close. That's not too bad actually. Let's screw it down. And the good thing about these hinges is they're so adjustable. I can go sideways, I can go out this way, I can go up and down. Very cool. Because some adjusting may be required. Okay, the question is, will it open? Now I'm fully aware, even if this does open, I'm going to have some issues with the rail. I either have to cut it at an angle like that or like that. We'll see, let's see what happens. I've not tried this yet. Okay, so the rail will be going down. Why is that not going back down where it was? Okay, so I need to take a wee trim along this corner here, or I could trim off an angle of the wood there. Yeah, I think it's actually hitting off of this. It does have a sort of soft close, which is why it's looking weird at the moment. But it obviously has some resistance. Also not very tight with those wee tiny screws. I think I'll be using bigger screws to hold it in. Okay, let me play about with that, get the other hinge in, see if we can adjust it. Okay, I had to science the crap out of this, but I think it's going to work. So just like any kitchen cabinet door, hook it in there, clip it in, alakazam. It works. Not super strong at the moment, but I could put a rib underneath if I want. However, I'm really not happy with this type of wood. It's just not strong enough. Over time, it's just going to break. I think I want another guide as well to guide that into place. Once it's in place, it's nice and aligned, and I can adjust the height of that side. Can't really adjust the height of this side unless I put little adjusting screws there. We'll see. So far, I like it. But we have more sciencing to do, unfortunately, because something strange is going to happen when the track meets the track. These don't have to be joined together, they just have to be close. So they've got to end up roughly there. I have left enough room for both the tracks to go between these hinges, which is good because the hinge sticks up through that hole. So what happens when I do this? That's not bad actually. Oh, it gets all the way down. So all I have to do then, this is great, if I cut this track at an angle that way, and the same with that one, the opposite way around, so that they kind of overlap each other, because this has to duck underneath that one. Okay. But even if they were that far apart, it would actually work. I mean, it would make a bit of a clickety-clack, but that would work. Oh, I'm really pleased with that. That's great. However, I do have to take into consideration what happens when I put cork road bed down, if I want to do that. But I'm pretty pleased with that. Wow, I can get really close. Nice. Well, I'm happy and a little bit surprised it even worked. I'm not going to take this bridge any further. It's MDF, it's not strong enough. Over time, it will start doing that. The screws don't stay in it very well. I need a nice bit of wood with some grain in it. Anything, as long as it's straight. And then I will obviously be adding power to these locating pins, the brass pins at this side, so you won't see any wires. Don't need to do the other side. It'll be a continual strip of track, well, 2 strips of track, both powered when they're connected. Obviously when it's not connected there's no power. Not that that matters. I don't imagine a train's going to be doing a Dukes of Hazzard. Overall, really happy. So, what's next? Well, I'm still waiting for some of my foam glue to dry, which is why there's boxes of trains on top of the joins. The joins especially, I want the joins between panels being nice and level. There and also there has been a bit of an issue. However, now that I've got my bridge, even if it is a temporary one, it'll work just fine for the next stage, which will of course be planning some track and then laying some cork road bed. Of course, I have to make my cork road bed. This is really the best way to do it. If you've got the time and the patience, buy a pack of this, 5 sheets of, what's that, 3 feet by 2 feet cork underlayment for like $42. And that's enough to last probably this layout and, you know, the next one when I rip this one up. Oh God, no. Oh, no. So that'll be in the next video. Making some budget cork road bed. Again, I'm going to do it a little bit differently from the last time, so we'll see how that works. Anyway, super excited. Might have a train running tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but you know, at the end of the next video. Even if it's just a circle. Withdrawal symptoms. Take care everyone. Stay tuned. Lots to come. Bye for now. Better tidy up, I guess.